The long-term health effects of alcohol, impaired driving, Part 1. Despite being widely accepted in contemporary society, alcohol is nonetheless hazardous. Alcohol is a substance which has a physiological effect when consumed or otherwise introduced into the body, making it technically a drug. Alcohol can be hazardous, as we all know is true of illegal narcotics. This particular chemical is not safe just because it is legal for those over 21 and accessible on almost every corner of the country. Alcohol use, when done regularly over a long period of time, can gravely harm your mind and body in addition to the obvious short-term negative effects. Among these long-term impacts are disease and organ tissue deterioration and imbalance of chemicals in the neurological system and brain, physical addiction and psychological dependence. You must be fully aware of the effects of alcohol consumption in order to make informed judgments regarding it. You may discover all the information you require about alcohol's long-term effects on health in this video. Organ injury. Alcohol has harmful effects on every organ and tissue in your body since it is absorbed through the bloodstream when you consume alcohol. Every organ can be negatively impacted by regular drinking, but the liver and kidneys suffer the most because they are in charge of removing alcohol from the blood. Although there are numerous additional ways that alcohol misuse can harm your health, liver impairment is one of the most frequent effects. Drinking alcohol for an extended period of time harms your liver, stomach, pancreas, heart, esophagus, and brain. Extreme alcohol drinking eventually results in fatal medical diseases such as liver failure, heart failure, stroke, and others. Let's learn more about how your body's primary organs are impacted. Your body's major detoxifying system is the liver. It works around the clock to remove hazardous toxins from your blood and transform them into less toxic substances that can be readily eliminated along with other waste. The term metabolism refers to this process. Because the human liver has evolved to deal with toxins and poisons that occur naturally, it is not prepared to handle frequent, high-level alcohol intake. Your liver's tissue will start to malfunction and die off after putting in a lot of effort for a long period to process alcohol. Damage to your liver tissue can have a disastrous impact on your general health because the liver is also essential for storing sugar, vitamins, and minerals, processing fat, battling infections, and clotting blood. The liver processes about 80% of the alcohol that is consumed by an individual. The liver won't be able to do its other tasks effectively if it is working overtime. Inadequate protein metabolism as well as the accumulation of adipose tissue around the liver and other important organs might arise from this. Protein is essential for tissue repair. Alcohol addiction is a leading cause of the following illnesses. 1. Fat in the liver. Fatty patches accumulate inside and around the liver when it cannot effectively digest fat. The liver will grow as a result and become dysfunctional. Hepatitis 2. Due to unprocessed chemicals in the blood, this acute liver inflammation results in excruciating swelling, liver enlargement, mental confusion, and excessive fluid retention around the belly. Having hepatitis can be fatal. 3. Cirrhosis. Clusters of cirrhotic liver cells malfunction, degrade, and eventually disappear. Infertility, impotence, liver failure, poor breath, skin discoloration, coma, liver cancer, and even death are possible outcomes. Alcoholic liver disease, which includes all three of the aforementioned disorders, is a common outcome for alcoholics and those individuals who have abused alcohol to an extreme degree. Stomach injury. Since your stomach must process every drop of alcohol you consume, stomach injury as a result of drinking is inevitable. This organ uses an incredibly strong acid that is damaging to human tissue to break down the food you eat. To guard against acid damage, the interior of the stomach is covered in a thick mucous membrane. This protective mucus coating becomes thinner with frequent or excessive alcohol use, leaving the stomach walls vulnerable to acid erosion. Gastritis, a painful inflammation of the stomach lining, will arise from this. Gastritis may result in severe abdominal discomfort, nausea and diarrhea, bloating, peptic ulcers, bleeding inside, esophageal injury. Alcohol can also harm the esophagus, which is the part of the digestive system that connects to the stomach. The esophageal sphincter, a ring-shaped muscle located at the stomach's aperture, tightens when food enters the stomach in order to stop dangerous stomach acid from escaping. When you drink alcohol, This muscle relaxes, allowing acid to flood up into your esophagus. Heartburn, ulcers, and even esophageal cancer may occur from this. The metabolic metabolites of alcohol in the blood can potentially harm esophageal tissue. The body will circulate these compounds in the blood before the kidneys filter them out when the liver converts alcohol into other molecules that are ready for excretion. One of these metabolic byproducts is acetaldehyde. The fragile tissues and cells in the digestive tract can malfunction and change when exposed to this poisonous chemical. Cancer of the esophagus, mouth, throat, pharynx, stomach, or intestines may result from this. The long-term health effects of alcohol, impaired driving, Part 2. Pancreas injury. The pancreas is a tiny but crucial organ that makes the hormone insulin, which instructs the liver to turn extra sugar into fat, as well as digesting enzymes, which are released into the small intestine. By fooling the pancreas into secreting powerful enzymes into the body rather than the intestines, alcohol is known to harm the organ. The pancreas will start to digest its own tissue instead of breaking down meals. Pancreatitis, or inflammation of the pancreas, is a dangerous illness that may occur from this. You will experience severe abdominal discomfort, nausea, vomiting, digestive problems, and an inability to absorb nutrients from food when the pancreas is inflamed and unable to function correctly. In the long run, severe pancreatitis can result in fatal or life-altering illnesses like diabetes and cancer. You'll pass away if the pancreatic completely malfunctions. Your heart beats 100,000 times a day to circulate blood throughout your body. Without the heart, necessary nutrients and oxygen, as well as waste products, could not be delivered to cells and tissues. The most potent and significant organ in the intricate biomechanical system that is the human body is this one. It depends on your muscles being strong and healthy. The health of every other organ, tissue, and cell in the body will be compromised if the heart cannot operate effectively. Your heart muscle and the rest of your circulatory system are damaged by drinking alcohol. Alcohol causes the heart to beat more slowly, which results in less frequent and powerful contractions. As a result of the slower blood flow through the heart, fat from the circulation may accumulate around the arteries and veins supplying the organ's essential muscle. This may ultimately result in heart disease, heart attacks, strokes, and total heart failure. Regular alcohol use can cause cardiomyopathy, an often fatal condition that is irreversible. The heart will assume an abnormal shape and grow in an effort to make up for the loss of its muscular tissue when this illness manifests. Cardiomyopathy typically results in death, especially when it affects young, healthy individuals, as is frequently the case. Alcohol intake can cause cardiomyopathy in young, active people, who may not even be aware of it until they experience a fatal heart attack. There are several indicators to look out for even though cardiomyopathy sometimes remains undiagnosed. These consist of reduced appetite, extreme tiredness, inability to pay attention, abnormal heartbeat, breathing difficulty. Hypertension. Hypertension, the medical term for high blood pressure, can result from excessive alcohol use. The fragile blood vessels known as capillaries, which link the main veins and arteries to tissues and cells, are subject to increased pressure as a result of hypertension. Additionally, it may stop some essential nutrients from accessing tissues through the bloodstream. Long-term hypertension side effects include injury to the eyes, bone density decline, arterial injury, heart failure and disease, kidney failure and disease, dementia, stroke. Alcohol can impair the synthesis of blood platelets, a condition known as thrombocytopenia, which can have an impact on the circulatory system. Thin blood caused by this condition might manifest as weariness, profuse bleeding when cut, gum bleeding, nose bleeding, and mouth blisters filled with blood. Regular drinkers may also develop macrocytic anemia, which causes the blood cells' ability to carry oxygen to decrease. Shortness of breath, an enlarged heart, an irregular heartbeat, and malformed bone growths are some of the signs of this illness. Lung injury. Drinking alcohol frequently or excessively might harm your lungs as well. Alcohol prevents the healthy maintenance and repair of the tissues in your lungs by slowing down and interfering with normal lung function. This makes you more vulnerable to chronic lung conditions that can be fatal, like cancer, pneumonia, bronchitis, respiratory distress, and lung collapse. The long-term health effects of alcohol, impaired driving, Part 3. Harm to the nervous system. Alcohol causes the neurological system to malfunction, which triggers a chain reaction that affects every other system in your body. This occurs as a direct result of alcohol's impact on neurons, which are important signaling cells in the neurological system. Additionally, it throws off the molecules that control how the neurological system functions. Every vital bodily function, such as sleep, sex, appetite, energy, mood swings, and your fight or flight response when under danger are all controlled by hormones and neurotransmitters. Because these molecules interact, altering the levels of any one hormone or neurotransmitter will have a knock-on effect that disturbs all the others. Regular alcohol intake will eventually prevent your body from re-establishing its natural chemical balance. Personality changes, intellectual decline, memory loss, and severe mental health issues might result from this. Brain injury. Every conscious and unconscious movement your body makes is under the control of your brain. It also controls your identity, feelings, memories, and sense of self. The real brain tissue will become damaged over time, and the neurotransmitter and hormone balance that the brain uses to regulate body activities will be disrupted. Your brain will start to change as a result of regular alcohol consumption's dehydration. The brain will shrink in certain areas while growing larger than usual in others. You might even have gaps in your brain's tissue or strange growths, which would impede your motor skills and cause you to lose your memory and become confused. Although the adage alcohol kills brain cells is largely accurate, what is actually damaged are the tips of the neurons in the brain cells. Dendrites, the terminals of neurons, link each neuron to its neighbor and enable the transmission of complicated electrical signals across the entire body. Signals will be distorted where dendrites are injured, and your entire body may become dysfunctional. The damaging effects of alcohol on brain chemistry are comparable. Chemical imbalances have the potential to grow into life-altering mental illnesses and disorders over time. One out-of-balance chemical in the intricate web of neurotransmitters and hormones will have an impact on other chemicals, and so on, until the entire system is out of whack. The chemicals in our brains directly affect how we feel and act. Major depression, manic depression, and schizophrenia are all illnesses that can develop when something goes wrong and the brain is unable to correct it. Addiction to alcohol. Regular alcohol use causes the brain to ultimately adjust to the bloodstream's constant flow of alcohol. In order to function as normally as possible while alcohol is present, it actually modifies its typical operating parameters. In that case, stopping the alcohol will cause the brain to stop working normally. This is a sign of physical addiction and is referred to as alcohol withdrawal. The brain takes some time to adjust to normal working conditions once an alcoholic quits drinking. While this is happening, the withdrawal will affect your mood and induce hallucinations, depression, anxiety, confusion, nausea, sleeplessness, and hypertension. This explains why so many alcoholics who attempt to break their habit eventually return to drinking. Once addicted, giving up is incredibly challenging. Alcohol sensitivity. Your capacity to endure the consequences of intoxication will gradually rise with excessive, prolonged alcohol use. This is not a good thing, despite how it might sound. While intoxicated, you may be more able to speak, walk, and think normally, but the alcohol in your blood will still be harming your body just as much. Additionally, those who have a high tolerance to alcohol frequently drink more in one sitting in an effort to replicate the effects they had when they first started to drink. As a result, organ damage and general health decline will occur more quickly. The long-term health effects of alcohol, impaired driving Part 4. Damaged immune system. The immune system of your body is in charge of fending off and avoiding infection from harmful microorganisms including bacteria, viruses, and parasites. Additionally, it looks for and removes cancer-causing cell mutations. Multiple ways that drinking alcohol weakens the immune system include: white blood cells that attach to and destroy invader cells will lose some of their effectiveness. White blood cells that target tumors will become less active. there will be a slowdown in immunological T-cell synthesis. Production of cytokines will be restricted, which will facilitate the replication and spread of infectious organisms. Additionally, excessive alcohol use can cause autoimmunity and irritate the immunological system. The defense cells in your immune system will become confused in this situation and may wind up attacking your own healthy tissue. Psoriasis, inflammation of skin cells, rheumatoid arthritis, inflammation and degeneration of joints, multiple sclerosis, degeneration of the nerves, lupus, whole body autoimmunity, and a number of other chronic illnesses can all be brought on by autoimmune reactions. Malnutrition. Malnutrition brought on by alcohol might have a negative impact on your overall health. Alcohol may prevent the intestines from properly absorbing nutrients from food, according to studies. The mucous membranes in the stomach and gut may be inflamed, and the pancreas may not be releasing enough enzymes as a result. Malnutrition has a negative impact on every area of the body. You will feel the following symptoms when your body cells do not receive the nutrition they require to function properly. Extreme tiredness, disruptions in sleep, lethargy, inability to think clearly, pains and aches, frequent diseases and infections, hair fall, slow wound and injury recovery. Malnutrition can eventually result in serious sickness, organ failure, and death if it is allowed to persist for an extended length of time. Obesity and chronic alcohol use have a substantial relationship. Contrary to popular belief, it is possible to be overweight and undernourished at the same time. Even if you are unable to adequately absorb micronutrients from your diet, such as vitamins and minerals, you will still be able to metabolize calories and gain weight. Alcohol has been shown to promote excessive consumption of harmful junk foods that are low in the nutrients your body actually needs and high in sugar, salt, and fat. Rapid, systemic decrease in health. The circulatory, neurological, respiratory, and digestive systems in your body, as well as all the organs and parts that make up those systems, are interdependent. Every system in your body interacts with each other and learns from them in order to maintain your body functioning as efficiently and healthily as possible. All of your body's systems are put under tremendous strain by alcohol. Any health concern brought on by excessive alcohol consumption will put stress on other organs, tissues, and functions right away. This is why alcohol-related disorders and diseases rarely develop on their own. When one health issue arises, your body's other systems will begin to malfunction, leading to the emergence of additional health issues. It is very hard to slow down and stop once this lethal domino effect has started. Especially when the victim is struggling with an alcohol addiction that compels them to keep poisoning themselves on a daily basis. Keep in mind that alcohol is a harmful substance. Every day, it destroys lives, kills people, and robs families of their loved ones.